What's up, everybody? This is Michael Maestro Turner with The Blind Grind. I'm sitting here with Rob YB with YBConnects.
What up, what up?
Tell them a little bit about you.
Hey.
Tell them what makes you amazing and what you do.
Oh, absolutely, man. Rob YB Youngblood coming at you here from Richmond, Virginia by way of Bronx, New York. I'm the Chief Connecting Officer of YBConnects, which is a referral marketing consulting firm. What I do is I help small businesses, individuals, sales professionals to enhance their credibility, increase their visibility, and attract new clients leveraging LinkedIn. What makes me amazing is that I'm a connector. I focus on ways to serve, add value, throw the alley-oop so people could throw it down. People like Maestro could throw it down. What I find is that people are good at what they do, but they're terrible at networking. And so I come in as the networker, as a connector that not only teach people how to network, but to make connections themselves. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you already know what makes them amazing. Now we're going to get straight into the good stuff. Straight into the what you need to get to the next level.
Oh yeah.
What is your blind grind? Something that took place behind the scenes, that maybe that work or maybe that experience that may have been life altering.
You know what, I look at it like this. Faith has always been a major part of my life and the moves that I've made. You know, even down to this year, I went full-time building my business January 1st. We're about to wrap up this year. So, you know, just the moves that I've made, everything was just based on faith. And when I say faith, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about a belief that something better is down the path. As long as I keep walking, as long as I keep striving, if I do what my mentors are encouraging me to do, then I'm going to get the results. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get the results that they prescribe. And so, but all of that started literally about 15 years ago. I was in school. December 7th, 2000 was when I dropped out of college. I literally put my letter of withdrawal in. I left Virginia Union. And I didn't know what to expect, but the Lord told me, I got your back. He said, I got your back. And that was that belief. And so, but I had to trust that was real. And I had a relationship, and I still do. And so I trusted, and my journey was it's just amazing how things worked out. I went through 18 months living back in New York. I experienced 9/11, literally running through billows of smoke to try to get from downtown to uptown.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And then I ended up coming back to school in 2002, and I said, I will not take longer than 2 years to finish this degree. And I finished in 04.
Another jewel, he put a deadline on it.
Absolutely. So, you know, but I could not imagine that I would be sitting here, but I knew that big things were to come if I just continue to operate in faith. So that's my blind grind, bro.
Wow, that is powerful. So I mean, you dropped some jewels, man. And let's just say, at this point, if you go back, if you haven't caught the ones before, the interviews before the blind grind, people on all different types of levels. But we're seeing this correlation, this parallel, this consistency of this belief. And I feel like belief is one of the strongest forces on the planet.
Yep.
Ray Lewis even said, you can't stop a team of men with a belief and a vision.
Yeah.
So you know, the belief, and then he said something else, the mentors. Can you go a little bit more into that? Because let me tell you, I have people that I'm seeing posting. I'm not gonna put nobody out there, but I see you posting, and I can tell that you have absolutely nobody that is critiquing you. That's not your best friend, your mom, Pookie, Ray Ray, girlfriend, with biased opinions. You got everybody telling you how sweet you are.
Right.
And mentors.
Yeah, so I've learned that a mentor is someone who has done what you're striving to do. And oftentimes we take advice from people who literally just give us information and we don't vet that information.
Or they love us.
Or they love us so much and they just they yes people, you know. But I've learned the value of mentorship. You know, I started a business back in 2004. It was an Amway business, and that's where I learned the true value of mentorship. And you're just following the footsteps of people who are doing what they're telling you. You know what I mean? And so for me, mentors have been a valuable part of success for me. Some of my mentors include John Coleman, who's here locally in Richmond, Virginia, Charles Bradshaw, Eric Thomas, you know.
Hey,
and I tell you what, and I had to learn something from CJ. You know, we got a mutual connection with CJ. CJ told me there's a difference between a mentor and a coach. He said mentors work with kids, but adults invest in coaches. And when he smacked me in my mouth with that, I'm like, are you kidding me? And so now a lot of these folks, these coaches, you know, and even now being a coach myself, I'm realizing that, you know, I can be your mentor, but what you need is a coach, because the coach is going to stretch you and you're going to invest in that relationship.
Right.
Especially if you're in business, or if you want to, you know, in terms of being a producer, whatever it is, man, you need to pay for that time, because when people ask for a mentor, what they're really saying is, I want your time. I want you be my mentor.
But that time is valuable.
It is very valuable, and there's a dollar value to it. You feel what I'm saying? And so,
energy.
And you got and you got it's energy, like he talks about energy, but it's also value to it. So if a person's not willing to invest in that time, why should they get it? You know, why should I give you my time if you're not willing to invest? Now, oftentimes, the mentor or the coach will challenge you to see how serious you are about wanting their time. So they might say, well, listen, invest in this program. You say, well, they're just interested in the money. No, they're not interested in money. They want to see where you place your value. And so I had to learn that. I've had to invest in myself. And what I find is that the investment is like a bag of seeds. And I get the seeds, and now I'm responsible for sowing those seeds into myself and into other people.
Man, you go ahead.
Come on, bro.
My boy, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man.
Breathe
no
you,
doubt.
be
Yeah,
you
Breathe
strong.
University, man. Eric Thomas, and that's how. Let me tell you something. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go through, man. That's how we got connected. We talk about faith. I was in a very negative place a little over a year ago. I was on the verge of suicide, and if you ever feel this way, I'm going to encourage you to make sure you get some help, and that's what I did. And then as I was going to get some help, God led me to E.T., led me to YouTube, where I was looking for motivation, and I found Eric Thomas. I didn't even know who E.T. was. I didn't have a clue. I didn't know he was a top motivational speaker. But then as I started listening to him, I ended up getting that Dr. Thomas album. Played that on repeat. My kids was getting into it, my two daughters. And then all of a sudden the Holy Spirit said, bring E.T. to Richmond. I'm like, okay. He didn't give me a time frame. He didn't tell me how to do it. He just said, bring E.T. to Richmond. And I'm, because I'm the connector, I'm putting all the pieces together. Michigan State, Detroit, Oakwood, all this stuff, trying to find people that I knew that might know him. And none of that panned out until one of my buddies, Felton, shout out to Felton Monroe with
Felton.
Yeah, Felton's doing his thing.
Back.
Yeah, Felton's doing his thing up in Harrisburg. Yeah, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania with Mel's Rockin' Barbecue. Shout out to him. He's one of my sponsors.
Wow.
He sent me an email, a Facebook message that you put out there.
Wow.
And you were searching for female speakers. And so Felton thought that I could be a resource for you, made the connection, and then I ended up reaching out to another college buddy, Chris Meekins. Chris, that went to Village of Faith.
Crazy.
So the connection is crazy. The network is crazy, right? So he said, yeah, I'll make the connection. Told you about me. I called you. And very first conversation, man, we getting into it, we talking.
Yeah, we were building.
And you were building. And you was like, oh, by the way, E.T., Eric Thomas is my mentor. And I'm literally in my carport about to have a hallelujah breakdown because I'm like, how is it that my man knew? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know, and I didn't tell him. So anyway, to make a long story short, you and I built. You told me about your connection with CJ, told me your experience.
Exactly.
Put me in touch with CJ a few weeks later. I had a conversation with CJ, told him what my goal was, and he told me straight up, he said, you sound like a real sharp guy. He said, but I want to tell you something. He says, I get about 2 or 3 calls a week of people saying that they want to bring E.T. to their city. And 90% of the people never follow up. Don't be a part of the 90%. And see, I'm from New York. I don't know about you guys who's watching. I'm from New York. When you throw a challenge out there, come on, man. Like, are you serious? I told my man, I'll see you in St. Louis. Because I was literally on the verge of deciding, should I go? Should I not go? My money wasn't where it needed to be. I was literally tight.
Because I was going to go with him.
Listen,
but I couldn't.
I ain't tell you this. I don't know. I'll tell you this now. But remember how we talk about the test? Yeah. My test was to see if you was going to go. It wasn't if you had the money. Was you going to go? Because I was going to cover everything.
I was going to go.
All I needed was for you to be my driver. But when I said, "Are you willing to go?" And I remember I asked, "Are you willing to go?" And he was like, "Yo, bro, I gotta work. I don't want nothing to get in between my money." I said, "I respect that. I'm not gonna beg you." But my thing was, I got it covered. I just needed somebody to help drive, which was cool because I needed it. It was on a Sunday. The event was on a Sunday, so you don't affect this. That's right. Affect your grind. If you got a commitment, now I'm saying if you got a commitment, stick with your commitment. Yeah. But I ended up driving out there. It took me about 12 hours to get out there, and that was probably the best experience I had. I went to VIP. I was up front. In my man face, gotta upgrade. If you're gonna do something, invest, man.
He upgraded me. That's what I said. Shout out to CJ.
Yeah, shout out to CJ, man. Bless me on that. Roll up on there, and then that's what started my journey, man. You know what I'm saying? And just a level of intensity. I think for me was I just needed to have that level of intensity and intention and strength. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you hear people talking, but they ain't really doing what they saying they do. You know what I'm saying? The credibility is not really there. They look good on the outside, but their grind is not matching what it looks like on the outside.
And me personally, whoever's watching this, whether you may be a kid that I've came to your school, or you may have seen me playing, or you may admire me in some type of way, understand that I get motivated by other people. So there's somebody that I look up to, maybe same way you may look up to me, or you may look up to Rob. Yeah. We're pulling from somewhere, and that person's pulling, like E.T.'s mentors, he's named Dan Gilbert, billionaire. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, so when I met E.T., man, he told me that I had the gift with this speaking. No cameras around. And I saw him finish the speech at 9:30 and stay for 2 hours. I think it was, no, he stayed till 12 o'clock shaking hands. That's what, that's 3 hours?
Yeah.
And he does that. Every
Shake
single
everybody's hand, give people hugs.
I never seen a millionaire.
Listen to their story.
I never seen a millionaire do that. And that upgraded me to see that, because I'm from Richmond, no disrespect, but I've never seen anybody totally authentic. I've been close to a lot of big timers, whether it be preachers or whether it be musicians, whether it be, and all of them had that little bit of that
air, like that.
Trifling, pompous. You know, I'm trying to say the best censored word. Y'all know what I'm getting at. And he was the first one I saw who actually was authentically who he said he was.
Real brother, man.
And I got upgraded. So, you know, wow, this is powerful.
And I'm going to tell you what, so I was on a prayer call this morning, and I was just reflecting on the year before the call, and I thought about a situation. So going back to faith, there was a conference, another ET conference in Atlanta. And I called up one of my college brothers, a brother by the name of Kadiri Richards. Shout out to Kadiri, one of the best basketball players that come out of Virginia Union. And I called him. I said, "Listen, I'm going down to Atlanta. I would love to connect with you. I got, I'm getting up with a couple of my mentors. Love for you to go. I got these tickets. I ain't telling what kind of tickets it was. I got these tickets." And I said, "What you got going on?" Same thing with you. I said, "What you got going on?" And he was like, "Bruh, all I got is a cookout, and I don't need to go to that."
Yeah, forget the cookout.
And so I traveled to Columbia, South Carolina, got him. We went to Atlanta. The blessing was that another one of my guys in VU is a tax consultant.
Nice.
I put those two together because he has some background in taxes, and they hit it off so well that right now my guy is running this dude's office in Columbia, South Carolina, and just hired 14 people. Now, I don't know those 14 people, but as a result of me operating on faith and reaching out to my man and telling him about it, you feel what I'm saying? So what's the point of my message? My message is there is something bigger than you that if you don't walk out the walk you're supposed to walk out, is going to affect somebody else's life. If Maestro wasn't willing to open up the door for me to connect to CJ, if he was on something, I ain't hooking him up. I ain't telling him nothing. You know what I mean? If he was on that,
which is regular,
which some people, which some people do, it's right? They want to hold on to information and knowledge because they're like, I don't want my man to get ahead of me.
I want him to take my spot.
I want to take my spot. What you end up doing is you end up affecting not just that person's situation, but everybody else that person is connected to. And so now I have an incredible, I don't want to say debt, but I feel a sense of obligation to support my man. So we had the YBConnects presents Connect with a Purpose.
Beautiful event.
Brought my man out, and as a result, he was able to connect with your 10th grade teacher. What was your?
Yes, my 10th
your
grade
10th grade English teacher.
And
so relationships with birth, a whole bunch of people. So what I'm saying to you is, if you're watching this and listen to my words clearly, that faith is about belief in action. And you got to have belief. And until you get to the point where you could believe in yourself, you got to get around other people who believe in themselves. And then those things will jump on you, and then they'll teach you how to believe, because oftentimes what happens is people see things in you before you see them in yourself.
Teach me.
So, we got to get to it. That's why mentorship is so important. And when I talk about the mentorship being for kids, yeah, we are kids. It don't matter your age. When you first get started in the business, you a kid in the business. You feel what I'm saying? You're not an adult in the business. You don't know the ins and outs, so you got to get around people. Even if you say, listen, hey, can I grab your bag? Can I wash your car?
Ego's a heck of a drug.
Exactly. Can I serve you? If you want somebody to mentor you, you need to be willing to serve them. Go to where they are. Find out their favorite cause. You may not have the money. Stop taking this thing. Oh, I ain't got no money. You got something. You got time. Find out what their favorite charity is and go see them. You know, every time you show up, they're going to drop some knowledge on you. They might not give you a whole lot of time, but they're going to drop some knowledge on you. Absolutely. And you take that and you apply it and you come back.
Yo, you know what? This guy, I don't know who told me. It could have been you. I don't know. I was on the phone with somebody and they told me, they said, Maestro, when you walk in the room, let's put the knowledge in money for them. Let's say everybody in the room got $20. 4 people got $20. He said, if you walk in there with your 20 and you hold on to your 20, you're going to walk out there with that 20. When you could have walked out there with $100 or $120.
Yep.
And that's pretty much how it works universally.
Universally.
You messing up your flow.
That's right.
And a bunch of other people's flow that you may never even see.
That's right.
But trust me, it's going to work in your favor.
And it comes back to you, man. And if you are who you say you are, then people will remember you as such. And when an opportunity comes, you'll be the first one they think about. You'll be the first one they think about, because they say, you remember that guy that did this and did that? You know what? We need to call that man. And so
which has already happened. Which has already happened. He's already connected.
Absolutely.
Me to. I've gotten camera editing work and everything for people that.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
But we got to stop right there. It's too much. Look, y'all. This is Rob YB with YBConnects.
Yes, sir.
Michael Maestro Turner. Look, we just trying to give you something. Not trying. We are giving you jewels.
Amen.
And that's another word. I'm killing try.
Yeah, take try and can't out of your vocabulary.
Because even though you're saying it and you don't mean it, but still, you got to put those vibrations out so they can come back to you. We're executing in 2017, right. and I'm not selling you anything. I'm not offering you to buy my shirt. What I want you to do is just upgrade your life. Because like I said, I may not ever see you. You might be in Australia watching this. Yeah. But you're going to upgrade. And who knows? There was a person that sent me a DM. They said, Mike, I'm not selling drugs anymore because of you when you came to my school.
Amen.
Now that same guy is in North Carolina Central.
Amen.
He was in 12th grade skipping school when I came to his class. Yeah. Now, the day after, he had to listen to everybody talk about it.
Yeah.
So now he's quit the drugs. Yeah. He could have been the person to rob my daughter 10 years from.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Like he could have been the person to rob, to kill somebody that I know years from now when he rolls up in the drug game. Yeah. We have no idea. So we just want you to take whatever you heard, eat the chicken, throw away the bone.
That's right.
Whatever can upgrade you, take it. This is another edition of The Blind Grind. Michael Maestro Turner, Rob YB. Information at the bottom. Connect with this brother. If you need, connect with him anyway.
Yeah.
We will see you next time. It's The Blind Grind. Peace.